Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin, and today we're going towards episode 121 of Season 1. Let's get things fired up.
Let's fire up the chainsaw!
There's someone on... Like, if you're on the autism spectrum like I am, you are not alone. There's a community of those on the autism spectrum, including YouTube stars like Phantom Strider, whose real name is Josh, by the way. He is from Sydney, Australia, but now he lives in Queensland. He lives in Queensland. You could see hear his Australian accent because he sounds sort of drunk. That's actually how Australians speak. I'm not trying to insult Phantom Strider or anything. I respect his opinions as much as I respect my own.
I respect his opinions as much as I do. As much as I do.
Mr. Pickles!
Mr. Pickles.
The theme song to Mr. Pickles is a death metal song.
Mr. Pickles. Good boy. Mr. Pickles.
And it's like, what's more humane than hunting? Scavenging. Our next step to evolution is as we become more compassionate towards animals over time. Eventually, instead of hunting, we'd end up scavenging for food instead. What is the most metal Adult Swim cartoon out there that is still on the air today? Like, airing new episodes? Mr. Pickles. It's about a satanic border collie. The theme song sounds like the singer has a throat literally made out of gravel. Sounds like his throat is made out of gravel.
See the fall.
That's a song by Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, sorry me. A skull full of maggots.
That is one of... I like that song along with Hammer Smashed Face. I even like the song called I Come Blood. There are some other songs too, called Entrails Ripped from a Virgin's Vagina. The reason I said vagina is I don't want to offend any of y'all. Because I don't want controversy to happen. Like, we shouldn't blame the mass shootings on cartoon violence. We should not blame it on cartoon violence at all. You shouldn't even blame it on video game violence. The biggest problem is, it's not discipline. They want you to believe it's... Conservatives want you to believe, like, it's lack of discipline and faith in God. Their so-called God. Truth is, it's not that. In fact, religion can cause problems all on its own, too. Like the Olympic Park bombing in Atlanta. It was done by a Christian terrorist. It was actually done by a Christian terrorist. He did it under the name of his Lord. His motive? He wanted to cancel the Olympics. With a bomb. He did that under the name of religion. That is an example of Christian terrorism. Religious terrorism must stop. Conservatives want you to believe it's lack of faith in their Lord and and poor discipline. Truth is, it's not that. Because even with proper discipline, there's still a chance children might end up lashing out. Because, you know, physical punishment can cause post-traumatic stress disorder in children. It can cause post-traumatic stress disorder. Especially physical punishment. Like... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, it's not discipline. It's not poor discipline that is causing all those school shootings. A lot of it has to do with mental illness. Literally, we need more counselors. But the problem with needing more counselors is it doesn't stop religious terrorism. In fact, counseling does nothing to stop massacres which are motivated by religion. It does nothing. In fact, it can actually make it worse. Because a lot of times, the terrorists who do attacks in the name of religion, a lot of times they are brainwashed into thinking they're doing so for their religion. They are brainwashed. The deadliest school massacre there was in America, the perpetrator, he was proof that discipline does not work to stop school massacres. Think of the Bath school disaster. Think of the Bath school disaster. The perpetrator was properly disciplined when he was a child. His motive for doing so was he lost the election in the school board. So he ended up getting revenge on them by blowing up the school. He decided to get revenge on them by literally bombing the school. It was actually the worst massacre there ever was. This is pretty sad. The terrorists of the Middle East, they were brainwashed through really harsh discipline that is deemed too brutal by Western standards, like through the use of the death penalty on their own people, which is just brutal. Think of Iceland. Think of much of Europe. Usually children don't get spanked over there. Yet mass shootings are very rare. The problem with abolishing corporal punishment entirely in America is some religions ordered the use of it as a form of punishment within their religion. You know, I wasn't forced out, like when it comes to religion, the reason I decided to leave Christianity behind, it's not that I was getting excommunicated or anything, is that I decided to defect. I decided to defect. having a devout... problem with being a devout... member of a religion can cause problems on its own too. Because think of the Olympic Park bombing. It's one of those terrorist attacks that was not caused by a lot of the terrorist attacks that took place in America was not caused by a Muslim. Most of those terrorist attacks in America were actually caused by Christians. Most of those terrorist attacks that happen in America are caused by Christian members. It's not caused by Islamic extremists. Most of the terrorists in America are Christian. While not all Christians are terrorists. Should be good. In fact, most American terrorists are actually Christian. Or wanting to get... some of them want to die for their religion. And some of them want to do it under the name of their religion. A lot of people blame everything on the Illuminati. My primary blame on the 9/11 terrorist attacks, I'd blame it primarily on Al-Qaeda. The second to blame, I'd blame it on America because they're the ones who funded Al-Qaeda. Like, I wouldn't blame it on the American people, I'd blame it on the American government. Because they are the ones that funded Al-Qaeda. My secondary blame is the American government because they're the ones that funded Al-Qaeda. They're the ones that funded Al-Qaeda. They're the ones that funded Al-Qaeda. They also another reason I'd blame terrorism in the Middle East on the American government. I would not blame it on the Jews. Because they're the ones trying to fend off the Islamic extremists. Because think of Jerusalem. Muslims, Jews, and Christians all live in peace and harmony. They all live peacefully in harmony, and in harmony. They all live in peace and harmony. My reason to criticize I don't despise Jewish people as an ethnic group. I despise a lot of religion. I tend to see religion as my moral enemy. Because there are atheists who want peace too. Like me. We can have peace without religion. We should all live in peace and harmony, for once. With the second coming of Christ type thing, very likely it'll never happen. Most likely. Because why? When someone dies, they cannot be revived. It's scientifically impossible to bring someone back from the dead unless you clone them. The only way for this scientifically possible to bring forth the second coming of Christ, the only scientifically possible way of doing so is cloning. Like we could take forth his DNA, then clone him. If he ever, only if he exists. If you want, only if he has ever existed. If Jesus never existed, fucked. The Christian, only if he does exist, we'll be able to clone him. Bring forth. But if he never existed, the Christians would probably be screwed. if he's ever existed, we'll be able to clone him. The real reason children crave a lot of sugar, it's not because of discipline. It's not just because of marketing. It's not just because we're marketing candy to kids. Children do it because they're biologically hardwired to eat a lot of sugar. Because during the times where calories were scarce, children had to eat a lot more than adults. By nature, children eat more than adults when they're going through a growth spurt. But outside the growth spurts, for children, eating a lot of sugar is actually a biological necessity for them. Children only eat a lot of sugar out of biological necessity. Even when you discipline your child not to eat sugar, they're still gonna do it. No degree of discipline will work in stopping your child from eating sugar. Because especially, well, when they're still growing, they need a lot of food. An easy source of calories for them to help with their growth is sugar. Even though sugar might be addictive, it's necessary for them. Because during a growth spurt, your blood sugar will go down. Because, you know, rapid growth can cripple down your blood sugar. It's part of... The truth about Muslims is just because one is a Muslim does not make them a terrorist. But why criticize Islam? Seven. The reason I criticize Islam, it's not just because, mainly because of something called Sharia law. Which is why I sort of have a thing, like, if you want ultimate freedom, it's best to give up your religion. I think you'd be better off giving up your religion if you want the most amount of freedom. You'd have a chance to follow your natural instincts. With the, From a socialist standpoint, greed is wrong. Same thing with a religious standpoint. Both a religious and political standpoint, greed is wrong from both. My standpoint in which greed is wrong is a political standpoint. What I believe that no one should be doing is we shouldn't be praising Stalin's actions because he did a lot of horrible things. He did a lot of things that are considered unthinkable, like causing a famine. Stalin and Hitler did a lot of horrible things. Like kill people. In the millions. In my eyes, I see Hitler as an evil person. For some people, you should be free to marry whoever you want, literally. Religion should have no place in politics whatsoever. Why religion shouldn't have a place in politics? Because think of Sharia law. Religion breeds propaganda. Especially in Islamic states. Just like Christians, Muslims do believe in the second coming of Christ. One of the... Enforced conversion of Jewish people to Christian never changed the fact... It doesn't change the fact that they are still Jewish. Because a lot of the people who practice Judaism are also Jewish by ethnic group. Not all ethnic Jews practice Judaism. In fact, some of them are, a lot of them are actually atheist. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish, black, Asian, or Middle Eastern, or white, or Native American, you are still human. You are still human no matter what. It doesn't even matter if you're an Aborigine as well. You are still human no matter what. The Nazis' definition of human is a lot different from my definition of human. And anyways, this is already finished the roofing of the school. As always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Share this with your comrades on social media. And subscribe. Thank you.